I'm Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter. I'm the head coach for JobSearchCoachingHQ.com. And I wanted to forward, well, let me put it this way. Someone sent a one more time. Someone contacted me with a question that basically translates into that they've sent out hundreds of resumes for positions on job boards and LinkedIn and hardly ever receive a response with an invitation for an interview, an acknowledgement, nothing. And they wonder if the jobs were fake or whether they're being filtered out. So I sat down and wrote out a couple of different ways or different reasons why they're not getting a response. And I'll start off with one assumption, and that is if a recruiter, whether it's corporate or third party, is advertising, almost all the time it's for a legitimate position. Why do I say that? Because there's nothing in it for them to collect inventory. After all, these are not the days where LinkedIn doesn't exist. These are days where firms buy access to the entire LinkedIn database of 700 million people and can search for people with particular skills. They don't need to create inventory. So sometimes there's also the scenario where they want to create the impression that there was no U.S. Available individual who is qualified for the role, and they may advertise. But those circumstances are so few and far in between, to fixate on it is xenophobic on your part. Forget it. It's not the primary reason or reasons for it. So here's why I think you're not getting responses. Number one is your resume doesn't make a case for your candidacy. People spam resumes time and time again because they want to do the job. And that's not the reason why companies will interview. They need someone with particular qualifications and experiences. And if your resume doesn't show it, they're not interested. And with that comes the notion that your resume isn't tailored for the role. I've said this 1,000 times, but the broken watch is right twice a day, and the generic resume that's sent to every position that you see on a job board is going to hit sometimes, but not very often. So you've got to tailor your resume for the job. Sometimes the issue is you're a senior individual who's applying for a staff level job, and they don't want to hire someone who's taking a step backward. Why not? I can do the job. And the answer is because, frankly, you used to be able to do the job. Now you have experience managing people who do the job, but not actually doing the job. And unfortunately, they're not there to give you high-paid job assistance. They don't want to groom someone to be able to do this job, especially knowing that once you find something more suitable at your normal pay rate, you're going to leave. Why would they want to do that? Another reason is you're too junior and you choose to ignore the fact that they want someone with 15 to 20 years of experience, and you with your 2 years of background believe you can do the job. You're confident that you can do the job, but that's not what they want. They want someone who has the experience doing the job. Sometimes the issue is you have the right experience, but since you're submitting it through an applicant tracking system, it's in the wrong place in the resume, because many of these systems are set up to look for where the key skills are in the document, in the file that you send. And if it's in the middle of page 2 because you have this enormous lead into it, the system's going to reject you because they think it's too old. Sometimes the issue is that your resume and LinkedIn profile are not congruent. And I'll tell you, so often when I still did search, I got a resume, I'd look at the LinkedIn profile, I go, huh? This doesn't connect the dots. These are two different people. And I'll also say that, connected with the two different people is that there's something missing from your resume and they know it. By that I mean, You're in a situation where you don't remember that you submitted a resume to them 3, 4, 5 years ago, and their system flags it because it recognizes that there's a job missing, that you pull that 3-month assignment out from 6 years ago, and they recognize that what you're doing is lying to them. Sometimes what happens is you've made frequent changes because you are a consultant, but you haven't made it clear that you're a consultant. And the result winds up being that firms, well, the screeners beyond the system, even if you're flagged as being acceptable, the screeners are always trained. Never interview job hoppers. They're a waste of your time. So the systems reject you, or people reject you as a result. Sometimes you think you're qualified, but the firm wants a name brand background and you're off brand. And my joke when I worked in search was always referred to 3 guys in a garage consulting firm versus they wanted someone from Google or Goldman or Facebook or whomever. And they're paying premium money for it. And they don't want to take a gamble on hiring someone, let alone interviewing someone who's coming from a company they've never heard of before. The last thing, and this is a big one that happens with regularity, is that your resume got there late. Now, on LinkedIn, I know it will let you know how many people have already applied for the job. On some of the job boards, they don't. And you have no way of knowing this. But imagine for a second, this ad has been up for a week or 2. By that time, a firm may have gotten hundreds of responses already. They may have already started interviewing, and sometimes they're even on 2nd and 3rd rounds, but they leave the ad up on the off chance that at the completion of this, when they make an offer, that it's turned down and the person doesn't start. So they're still collecting resumes, and you're in the great abyss, waiting and waiting and waiting. I know it's frustrating, but the jobs generally do exist because, frankly, there's no reason for them to advertise unless they do. I'll simply say you need some help, and if you'd like me to help you, the easiest way to find out more about my work, you can visit my website, thebiggamehunter.us. There's a lot there that you can watch, listen to, or read that's going to help you find work more quickly. Also want to say that if you're interested in one-on-one coaching, reach out to me through the website. You can schedule a free discovery call at thebiggamehunter.us. We'll spend some time getting acquainted. Obviously, I charge for coaching, and I'd love to help you in that way. I don't do recruiting anymore. I coach people throughout their job search. So I'll just simply say, get some help, because if you're wandering around not getting results, you're doing something wrong. You're not a professional at this. You're a do-it-yourselfer. And unfortunately, the system is rigged against you. Let me help. I'm Jeff Altman, and have a great day.